metres out. Will it take a severe bounce? Hanley doubling back. And he escorts the ball over the boundary line.
Well, they look superior in fitness, the Tigers. They're certainly coming home hard. First 5 minutes of this quarter, they've shown the endeavour and the run, getting their forward line to move. Fidge behind with Elias, now fisted clear. Chance there for Mansell. Just outside 50, puts it high. Fidge behind, fisted away by Harada. Chance for Elias, snapping back, brings it just offline. Oh, the crowd's with them. And whenever Elias or Fidge get near the ball, there's a real chance.
So the margin back to 17 points. After Central led by 30 points a quarter and half-time and 32 points at three-quarter time. Chance for Chigwin. On towards McIntosh. 45 metres out. He threads it through. It's a great effort by the youngster. His first goal, 12-10 plays, 14-9. 6 minutes final term.
3 goals in 6 minutes. And how you can run when you've got a chance. Chigwin got it clear. McIntosh just on the one leg, snapped accurately. So the Bays give themselves a chance, now trailing by 11 points, and we're almost 7 minutes into the final term.
McGuinness off, heel on, bounce centre field, McCulley. He's got his hands to the ball on many occasions this term. McIntosh back towards Hout. Glenelg up to half forward. Now the target is Simons, stood his ground well, kept his balance. Heel, good hand pass, sets up. Elias, snapshot. Was way offline. Just snuck in for one behind. So 10 points to margin. Glenelg 12-11 to Central 14-9.
And Central's losing in the centre square. They may have to look at putting some height there. Lounder may be more effective. They're trapped now with Coffey having to play fullback on Fidge. And from this kick out, he's very hesitant.
So Coffey favours the grandstand side. Mansell flies, no free kick forthcoming, and it's shuffled out of play by McGowan.
Tigers lifting, the Dogs seemingly tiring, relying very much on Ingerson to lift them in the ruck.
A really testing time here for the Dogs. Hyman trying to break the tackle, Simons comes through, also Mansell, hurried kick. Chigwin will be sandwiched, and Coffey the height advantage. Well, defensive mark taken by Grant Coffey, just to steady the ship somewhat. Short kick finds Ingerson. Here's Pyman from defence. Grandstand centre wing. Doubling back is Hout. He's got some options. He slips over, but good enough to recover. Clearing kick by Stephen Hout to half forward. Lounder in front. Elias a good mark. Now he's got many options. Good forward line. Fidge breaks. Can't trap it on the half volley. Back goes Harada. Well trapped there by Chigwin. Desperation by both players.
Desperation by Glenelg. They're the side with everything in front of them. They're holding 5th place on the premiership table. Need to continue to win.
Lounder taken there by Heel. Fidge is booted 7. Could this be 8? What a goal! That will have to go down as one of the goals of the season by John Fidge. The time soccer. He lent on his opponent. And the margin 4 points. We can see here the snapshot was good by Hill and even better by John Fidge off the ground.
Well, Harada has now got the task on Fidge. Coffey at centre-half back. Coach Alan Stewart in a little bit of trouble in the centre square, now trying Lounder against McCulley.
So 8 goals for John Fidge. Big fist. Here's Hanley for the Bulldogs. They still lead though by 4 points. It's been narrowed. 32 at three-quarter time, the margin. So Glenelg storming back to half forward they go. But the mark taken there by Grant Coffey. They need his height and strength from the final quarter. Lounder stands his ground. Plays on quickly. On towards Rowe. Short pass is effective. Here's Gurdon at right half forward. And he picks out number 51, Sutton, who's spilled an easy mark. McCulley to McIntosh. Glenelg away to centre field. Here's Visca. He uses Bromelo out wide. Draws the player, Thompson. His kick away. Fidge at full forward, opposed there to Harada. Good work by Brian Harada. Chick Whitten, snapshot around the body, curling back. But it floats out of play.
All Glenelg in the first 10 minutes of the final quarter. They've already kicked 4 goals. And now trailing by 4 points. Well, I'm sure we've often said that there's one silly rule. It's the one that prohibits you from kicking the ball across the ground out of that back pocket. To Pyman, slowing down the play. Central needing to regroup. Lounder in front of Cully, also Coffey. Elias gets it full. The runners are working. Simons, torpedo punt. Fidge, off hands for Heel. Out of bounds. Glenelg kicking with the breeze in the final term, having scored 4, trail by 4 minor points.
As John Fidge hit the pack, he just clutched for his right wrist. Simons takes it off the pack, but his kick was smothered. So a boundary throw, and it's kept in the area for the Bays. And they really have picked up their work rate immensely in this final quarter. Disappointing first 3 quarters. But obviously stern words from Kim Hodgman at 3/4 time. Elias in front. Taken here by McGowan. Summing up the options, hand pass good to Pyman, who clears long. Now the target, Ingerson in front. He can't take it on the second attempt. Mansell, good work at ground level. In turn to McCulley. On the bounce to Russell. Took his eyes off the footy. Lounder tackles well. And umpire Jeans rushes in. Well, the umpires really do situate themselves fair way from the play. It's been a policy of, certainly this season. McCulley back towards Hout. In turn to Bromelo. Glenelg work their way to half forward. Fidge comes out. In front, the defensive mark taken by Tony Lynn.
To the back pocket, Tony Lynn. Wide goes Jenkinson, also Rowe. Not a lot of movement in the Central Districts. Fidge has fought Lynn. Free kick is given. He'll be looking for number 9 from just 30 metres out. It's been a match-winning performance from John Fidge. Alert then as Lynn tried to direct play onto the far side and got trapped.
Well, John Fidge really did look, Tony Lynn, he made him look pretty ordinary on that occasion. And a bad defensive mistake. So Fidge from 40 metres out, directly in front. And he threads his 9th goal on the board. So the Tigers hit the front for the first time in the footy match. Glenelg 14-11 leads Central 14-9.
And John Fidge, who was goalless in the first term, has really applied a tackle which could have won the game. That's demoralising for a side that's been in front all day. And just a simple thing like a tackle from a free kick, and he kicked accurately for number 9.
So the Tigers poke their noses in front by 2 points. Centrefield Jenkinson to McGoran, who was tackled high. Lounder, good work to Holmes, who kicks to half forward. Can the Bulldogs reply? Here's Holmes at half forward once again. In defence, Batterston, clearing kick to the far side of the ground. Chance here for McIntosh. Good work by Jason McIntosh. Jarred his body clear of the tackle. Used good pace through the youngster. Centering kick, Fidge's kick 9, and he marks in front. What a brilliant mark under enormous pressure.
Well, he's not known for the strong overhead mark. More catch better, the body skills. He copped one for his trouble as he came down. Been awarded the 50-metre penalty. Could not miss. And number 10 is safely on the board.
Well, he opened up his account with the Bays 3 weeks ago. 3 goals at Prospect. 3 weeks later, 10 goals at Football Park. A match-winning effort. Glenelg out to an 8-point lead, 15-11 to 14-9.
With the breeze in the final term and attacking the ball, McIntosh set it up. He beat Laird, ran clear, turned inside, put it high, and although Harada was very aggressive, Fidge took a strong grab. So the Dogs, beaten in the centre square in the final term, seem to have lost their little men's legs. They have been very, very effective through Chaplin and Hocking and Jenkinson early, but late in the game, the Tigers have lifted.
It's been a 6-goal quarter by the Tigers, and Central have not scored in this quarter. That just gives you some indication about the dominance of Glenelg in this final term, after looking pretty ordinary in the first 3 quarters. Bounce just ahead of centre for the Bulldogs. Chance for McIntosh, who's come into the game in the final term. Kick wide there by Mansell, in the path of Rouvray. Used good pace, pulls it back to half forward. Bounce eluded Elias on that occasion, and Pyman just sees it out of play. Well, there's a concerned Central District bench. 16.5 minutes in the final term. There's Glenelg by 8 points. Over the top is Coffey. Down towards home, stolen beautifully by McIntosh. Back to full forward, Harada. Also there, Elias. Used great courage on that occasion, Craig Elias. And the bounce in the left full forward pocket.
Glenelg, who lacked key position players all day, have moved Elias to centre half forward, and Fidge has got cracking and really has won a game on his own boot.
Trevor Rowe just skirting the boundary line, keeps it in play. Rubenik bumps him off the ball. Mansell comes in late. And really it has been a final quarter, Darryl. It's just shown big holes in Central District's game plan.
Yes, and very difficult for the momentum to be swapped now too, because they were in a defensive mode early in the quarter and couldn't hold. Now they must turn around and start to try and score goals.
Cross half forward for Glenelg. Clearing kick by Central. To the far side, Batterson taken high, unseen by the umpire. And he just virtually pleads with umpire Jeans. You can see Eddie Hocking. Pretty late tackle. Handley from half-back. Up towards centre half forward. Out comes Lynn. Hits the pack pretty hard. Glenelg defence rally over the ball. Sutton. Gary Sutton's kicked 4 in the footy match, but Central kept scoreless in this final quarter.
They certainly need Rudy Mandamaker to take a couple of big grabs and do something creative at full forward. Ingerson opposed to McCulley. McCulley effective in this final term. Glenelg the numbers on the back play over Heel's head. Simons the dash, attacked with Pyman. Overlap from Heel. He goes high. 1 out. Dropping back Fidge. Couldn't take the ball. Now a chance. Harada over the top. Goes for the boundary line, where Launder and Pyman have the numbers. Hanley protecting Pyman. Keeps the ball in play, but 3 Glenelg players on the back play. Mansell, short, finds Rubenik.
Rubenik, cross half forward. He's got a lively forward line to aim at. One being John Fidge with 10 in front, and a strong mark. Well, that's the place to be. And we just saw on that occasion the immense body strength of John Fidge.
In front of Harada. Hands well in front of the eyes and dragging the ball down cleanly. So he's beaten on the day Borkwill, Coffey, and now on top of Harada, and shooting for number 11 from 20 metres out.
A slight angle, but should be a standard goal for a full forward. No distance to worry about. So John Fidge lining up for his 11th. And he's put it through. Number 11 for Fidge. Glenelg kick their 16th and go out to a 14-point lead.
It's not so often that a player can dominate a game so clearly, and yet he was caught, almost kept kickless in the first term. Borkwill did a good job until almost half-time, but once he got his confidence up, He was marking strongly like that one in front of Harada.
It'll be good to see Central fight back in this circumstance, because they really have been outplayed on every facet in this final quarter. Through comes McGaw in centre field. Good tackle by Hout. Hocking chips it wide in the path here of Lynn. Skirting the pack was Jenkinson. Worried out of it by Batterston. Gathering nicely, Bromelo. Clearing kick to the outer side. And a good mark taken by Rubening, who's done some good things in the footy match. Centering kick, searching for Mansell. Plays on quickly. Bullet-like hand pass finds Batterston on the bounce. He's away. Well, Chigwin had time to slip over and still take the chest mark. He's outside 50. We can see on replay. Lost the footing, but good hands to full forward. Laird just knocks it through for one behind. So a rush behind to Glenelg. They're out to a 14 or 15-point lead now. 16-12 plays 14-9.
21 minutes in. Coffey goes short, finding Hanley. Plays on. Has McGoran at centre wing. Plenty of room to move. Thompson attacking in front of Hocking. The Dogs to half forward. Mandamaker moves. Hocking around Bromelo. Goes high. Mandamaker one out. Out of position also. Barton dropping back. Took a very, very safe mark. And now we'll be able to reverse the play. Down the centre to McCulley. It's dangerous, but the big man takes.
Stuart McCulley has played a big final term. No one on the mark. Straight down the middle. From the side, Lounder. Well skirting the pack there was Hill. Beautifully run off the pack. Centering kick to full forward, but better judgment shown by Harada. Off to Craig Filkey. Clearing kick. The target is Coffey, but he's got two opponents to contend with. Kept in play. No, it wasn't by Simon Hill.
So Glenelg more run, particularly from their half-back line and centre line, and then the little men, and finished off safely with Fidge kicking so accurately.
So the margin 15 points after they trail by 32 points. Three-quarter time. Excellent hand pass finds Rouvray. Long kick to full forward. And a lunging touch there by Harada. Difference between a point and a goal. 16-13 to 14-9. And we're approaching the 23-minute mark of the final term.
The stamp of class on John Fidge. Harada wide, looking for McGoran. Pressure against Thompson. Pyman goes wide. It will safely land. Mansell now playing down the field. Plenty of time. Centres the ball. Lynn dropping back. Takes a safe mark. But Centrals need to redirect the play down the centre. Must get something on the scoreboard. Heald chopping in. The numbers. Visca in trouble. Hout. Across to Rouvray. Tackled. And holding the ball.
So the advantage paid. Home centre field. Outrider to Craig Filkey. But that just gives you some indication of the non-existent forward line of Centrals in the final term. No one to aim at. Barton in defence. Chips it wide. Rubening will mark. Promising youngster. Inboard to Batterston. Here's Mansell, who's got heaps of toes. Stabs it in towards Fidge. Can't mark. Can he recover on the ground? He's booted 11. Aiming for 12. Pulls it back to full forward. Rouvray. But fisted through for one behind by Chris Piner.
So we hinted at three-quarter time that Glenelg had looked strong. They kicked 3 goals towards the end of the third term. Got 2 goals in time on. And although they'd been frustrated in key positions, were looking as if they had the endurance and the stamina. So Christopher Pyman takes a turn to take the kick out.
To the grandstand side, the target McGoran. Fisted wide. Here's Mansell. He's had a blistering final quarter. Just pauses, waits for Fidge. Back towards Rouvray. Snapshot in towards goal. And it just curled around. It was a dangerous snapshot from Paul Rouvray. Caught the Bulldog defence napping. 16-15 to 14-9.
Well, Central's looking the better team for three quarters. Leading by 32 points at three-quarter time.
them. So perhaps with a minute left in this footy match. Severe bodywork in the centre.
The Dogs winning the last 2 taps in the centre with Lounder. McCulley had been on top, and the next ball out of the square is critical.
Lounder opposed to McCulley. McCulley palms it wide in the path of Mansell. Important possession to left half forward. Lounder traps it beautifully. Good direct work by, in fact, the player was Coffey. Strong kick to left half forward. Chance here for Rouvray. He used McIntosh out wide. Now Simons will tackle without the football. Play on the call. Man to make it to Lounder. Good tackle. McCulley on hands and knees. Ingerson, good desperation to Hocking. Bobbing and weaving. Indirect play by the Bulldogs. Gurdon to Lounder. Chaplin knocks Central's up to half forward. But Batterson turns attack into defence. Here's Simons at outside centre wing. Seconds running out for Central. Long kick, but turned out here by Chris Piper. He plays on quickly. Good direct play by the halfback flanker. Thumping kick from the side is Lynn. Also there, Hout. For the mark paid to Russell in defence.
A timely mark from the centre halfback. Now slows things down. Goes wide for Button. He has plenty of legs. Goes to the flank. Coffey at the back. A push and a mark. But the mark is paid. Trouble now for Gurdon. Stands his ground well. It's all evenly paused at centre wing. Off to Laird. Needs the long kick to half forward. Wobbles the kick in front of Russell. 2 telling marks to Russell at centre half back.
All he needed was a penetrating kick, Roy Laird, because he had his forwards in position. McIntosh. And that could have been the deciding factor. Grandstand side, thumps a long kick. Now chance here for McGowan. He's met heavily. The stalemate, said the umpire. And he's laid out flat on the ground. Final siren here at Footy Park. Glenelg home by 6 points. An exciting final quarter. 16-15, 111 the Tigers. Central 16-9, 105. Well, it certainly was a slugging affair at Footy Park. The Bulldogs on top for 3 quarters, but Glenelg did storm back a 7-goal-to-2 final burst by the Bays. They ran out winners by 6 points, 16-15 to Central, 16-9 for the Tigers. Fidge, a star up forward with 11 for Central. Sutton, man to maker, and Lynn 4, Holmes kick 2. After the match, Darryl Hicks caught up with the man of the moment, John Fidge.
OK, John, well, great game, finished up with 11 goals, but 16 minutes into the first term, you hadn't got a goal on the board.
No, I was a bit worried at that stage, but luckily we started playing a bit better and I managed to get a few at the end.
You think you might have been shifted or maybe even dragged at that stage of the game?
I thought he might have moved me up to the half-forward line to sort of get me involved, and but as it turned out, he left me where I was and it worked.
There were 2 goals kicked in time on in the third term, which proved to be absolutely essential for you.
Yeah, we had to be within 4 or 5, I think. 7 is just a bit far away, but as it turned out, we got 3 goals up, so I don't know if it would have mattered.
McCulley got on top in the last quarter. Was anything particularly that he was doing that enabled him to do that?
Yeah, I think he stopped trying to palm it to the Rovers and he tried to belt it, 10 or 20 metres, and that sort of gave us the impetus to get it out of the middle, and once we started rolling, everything just started going from there.
Glenelg suffer each week when they lose players to the AFL. You lost Alan Bartlett early in the week and then late Michael Murphy. Does that affect the team?
Yeah, actually, I didn't really think it would when I first came over, but I'm starting to realise now that it does affect when key position players go out of the side. It's hard to replace. Yeah.
And your personal tally of 11 today, what's the best you've ever done in a single game?
Yeah, 11's the best I've ever done. Yeah, I was pretty happy to get over the 10. I've got 10 a couple of times, but never beat. Never.
That's a career best for John Fidge, 11 goals. He's speaking with Darryl Hicks after the match. And 2 injuries for the Bulldogs. Brian Harada, suspected cracked ribs, and Stephen Stewart, a suspected broken jaw. He'll have x-rays tonight. And next week, well, Ross Gibbs and Scott Salisbury back for the Bays. If you want to purchase your ABC match cassettes, the place to buy the videotapes, the ABC shop, Level 3, the Myer Centre, Rundle Mall in town. The cost $29.95.
The John Fidge show played to a small crowd at Football Park today, and his virtuoso performance earned him a standing ovation. The nomadic full forward booted 11 goals as the Bays came from more than 8 goals down to grab a 6-point victory.
Central made the most of a stiff breeze in the opening term, stunning the Tigers with 3 goals in less than 4 minutes. But it wasn't just goals, with Rudy Mandamaker pulling down one of the marks of the year. 30 points the difference at quarter time. Tony Lynn made it 36 with this stunning effort. But John Fidge exploded with 3 strong marks for 3 goals, and it looked like the Bays were back. Central had worked hard for its lead, however, and continued to do so. At the long break, it was again 30 points in front. When the Bulldogs kicked the first 2 goals of the second half, the game looked all over. But Fidge was just preparing for the second act. And the longer the game went, the more inspirational he became. Central still had a 32-point lead with 1 quarter to play, but the Bays finished all over the top. Fidge again leaving the best till last. When it was all over, Glenelg had come from nowhere to win by 6 points. John Fidge, take a bow.